Recognizing and reporting child abuse and neglect in Davidson County, North Carolina. The objectives of this training include understanding North Carolina's mandatory reporting law, understanding the jurisdiction of social services, and recognizing maltreatment. Please remember there is a mandatory reporting law in North Carolina. Absolute proof is not always needed. You just have to have a cause to believe that maltreatment has occurred. The report can be made to the County Department of Social Services where the child resides. Reports may be made by telephone or in person or written. Often it is important to make an oral report in case there are questions that need to be asked of the reporter. When making a report, please include demographic information, information about other family members who live in the home, as well as the extent of the injuries or maltreatment. The reporter may also be asked questions about the family's strengths and functioning. Please remember that the identity of the reporter is never revealed unless ordered by a judge. Reports can be made anonymously, however, it is best for the reporter to reveal their name. If a report is made in good faith, reporters are immune from civil and criminal liability. The ultimate goal of making a Child Protective Services report is to 1. Protect children, and 2. Strengthen families. A Child Protective Services report can only be made if 1. The victim is a minor child, 2. The perpetrator is a parent, caretaker, or daycare provider, 3. The child's care falls below minimum standards. A minor child is less than 18 years old. This does not include children who have been emancipated by the courts. A caretaker includes 1. The child's parent or guardian, 2. Somebody who lives in the same house as the child, 3. Daycare and group home providers. DSS looks for a minimal standard of care in regards to food, shelter, safety, supervision, or medical care. Physical abuse, sexual abuse, emotional abuse, neglect, and dependency are all forms of child maltreatment that need to be reported. Physical abuse includes serious bodily injury inflicted by a parent or caretaker. These injuries may be bruises, burns, or suspicious marks. Here are 3 examples of physical abuse. Sexual abuse reports need to be made if 1. A child makes a statement about being inappropriately touched or had sexual acts committed on them by a parent or caretaker. 2. A child's parent failed to protect them from the abuse. 3. A child has been shown pornography or asked to take nude pictures. 4. A child displays inappropriate sexual knowledge for their age. 5. A child has an unexplained injury to the genital area. Emotional abuse is where a child shows signs of extreme aggression or withdrawal, and the parent caused that damage as a result of constant belittling or other injurious behavior. Neglect of a child includes lack of proper care, supervision, and discipline. Lack of proper care hygiene includes a child's home being dirty, in a state of clutter or poor repair that it poses a substantial risk to the child's health or safety. Here is an example of a home considered below minimal living standards. Lack of proper medical care includes the refusal of a parent to obtain medical services or care for a significant medical condition, injury, or illness. In the state of North Carolina, there is not a law that names an age when a child can be left unsupervised. Being left unattended depends on the child's level of functioning. DSS can become involved when the child is believed to be too immature to stay by themselves. Lack of proper supervision can also include teenagers who are kicked out of their homes. Lack of proper discipline includes excessive punishment where injuries or bruising from a punishment are visible. Here is an example of a child who is inappropriately disciplined. An injurious environment is where the parent or caretaker exposes the child to drug or alcohol. A child's witnessing domestic violence is also considered an injurious environment. Dependency is where there is not an available parent or caretaker to care for the child, or the parent or caretaker is unable to provide for the child, and no appropriate alternative arrangements have been made. If DSS makes a finding of maltreatment, in-home services can be provided to help offer protection of the child. In some cases, DSS may ask the family to place the child with a relative or other caretaker until the home is deemed safe for the child's return. The social worker works with the family to develop a case plan. The case plan addresses concerns and supportive services are put into place. In rare circumstances, families are unable to make necessary changes. If safety concerns continue to exist, DSS may ask the court to place the child in foster care. DSS first tries to place the child with relatives before a foster care placement is considered. Reports can be made during regular business hours by calling 242-2500 and asking for Child Protective Services. If it is after regular business hours, you may call the 911 center at 249-0131 and ask to speak with the on-call social worker. For emergencies, please call 911.